Hello and welcome to another video of Magic School, teaching you the tech tools and tactics of the digital marketing world. I'm Sofiia and today I want to show you 10 Google Chrome extensions I'm using on a regular basis to set up tracking. And I really hope this will help some people make their workflow more efficient. I have to admit I'm using way more extensions, but I decided not to include all of them because they're kind of repetitive. But if you find that something is missing, please let me know in the comment section below. So let's start our little Chrome extensions parade. So the first extension is our beloved Google Tag Assistant. And with the help of this tool, you can quickly identify what Google tags have fired, what information is sent over. So here you can see I have my GA4 implemented as well as Google Tag Manager. And it also gives you some recommendations for implementation, but I would not rely on those that much. But still, this is my first line of debugging. And I would say maybe not debugging, yet checking. So I always use it to quickly check if my tags fired, and this is an essential tool. Moreover, it allows you to record your browsing session. So if I click record, and let me refresh the page, and then I will go to music, and let's say posters, and here I click stop recording, and this is where I can access the full report. And in this way, you can identify if your tags fired on all pages. Maybe tagging is missing somewhere, and it's a good way to have a look quickly and identify those spots. But of course, this extension does not give you a detailed overview for troubleshooting. And if you want to go more in depth, I would recommend using this one, and it's called GA Debug. In order to access it, we have to go to the Dev Tools, right? And this is in console, and you can see all the information. And this is a detailed overview now. And in this way, you can do the debugging. Moreover, you know this feature in GA4 that is called the debug view, so you can also do the troubleshooting right in the tool. But in order to activate this debug view, we have either to use the Google Tag Manager preview, or we have to make sure that our GA debug is on. And then we can go to GA4 and we can go to the debug view right here. And this is how you can activate it in order to see this streamline of events. Right, so which is pretty helpful. But this is not the only way to troubleshoot your implementation and to check if everything is working. There are many extensions out there, but I want to show you one of my favorite, and it is called GTM Debug by David Valleja, an outstanding expert I look up to, and I absolutely love this tool. So here we should go to Analytics Debugger, and you can see this lovely interface, and it's super user-friendly because you can simply click Start Debugging, and here we go. And this is where you can see all data layer pushes. Or let's say I'm working with GA4, and I have some outbound links. So this is tracked with the help of enhanced measurement. And let me click Amazon, for example. And we go to GA4, and here we have click. And what I love the most about this tool is the readable format. It's simply amazing. As you can see, everything in this nice table, everything is so well structured. So here you have the overview, you can access the event parameters and so on. Moreover, it offers the server-side hit support, which is pretty cool. And talking about support, I really love this coffee cup right here. And I think it is of paramount importance to support people in their hard work, as this tool is available for free. And there are countless hours of hard work in implementation behind this neat interface. And it has way more functionality, so check it out. Another extension you might also have is called the Ghostery. So here you can see this ghost, and it helps you identify different analytics and ads codes installed on the page. Also, it can be used for anti-tracking. I guess this is the main goal of it. Yes, so you can stop the tracker's ability to collect your data. But Our main goal is to set up tracking to measure, and I would not recommend doing this because we are working in this field and we should set this example, right? But one of the interesting use cases, so actually you can stop your data flowing to your analytics account because we have this nice option right here for those things. Here you can see you can restrict tracking on a specific site. This can be pretty cool. Maybe you will also use it. When it comes to tracking and checking of the website, another one I really like is called Wappalyzer. And by using this one, you can instantly see the technology stack of any website. For example, the CMS platform, WordPress in my case, the e-commerce platform, which is WooCommerce, and other technologies used. Here you can see the WordPress plugins. And it can be really helpful if you're having a call, let's say some troubleshooting call with a client, and simply with one click, you already have some valuable information about the website, about the technologies used, and it can give you an overview and point you to the right direction when it comes to implementation or troubleshooting. Also, you can use this one to check your competitors, because it's great to observe the current trends and understand what others are doing in the industry. Another one that I'm using when it comes to troubleshooting, checking, is called the redirect path. And this is the one right here. And it tells you how you got to this page, what were the HTTP headers, and if any redirects took place. So let me show you an example. I'm going to majeschool.com, and here I will simply delete S. And voila, let me check it. And we have a redirect, right? And this is where you can see Magic School. So the use case for this one is actually troubleshooting cross-domain tracking implementations. So it can be really helpful for debugging in this case. When it comes to implementations, another one I absolutely love, and you might have seen it in numerous videos that I created, it's called the Datalayer Checker. And it is a validation tool. It allows us to see what data we have available in the data layer. And I love it because it's the easiest way to debug and check the data layer implementations without having to use the browser console. And let me just show you. Here I have some products. And if I click add to cart, let's go to our Datalayer Checker. Oh, I didn't click add to cart. Here we have add to cart. And you can also copy keys and values in a really easy and fast way, and I find it pretty awesome. But this is not all that you can do with this one, because if you go to settings, if you scroll down, you can also find the GTM injector section, and you can inject your tag manager with the help of this extension. So you would have to select the GTM ID and hit save settings. Do not forget to hit this one because I always forget. And you can also provide multiple container IDs and switch between them. So this can be really helpful if you want to test things out and if you have multiple tag manager containers. I love it because I can easily swap the container ID and inject the GTM. So I find it pretty cool. Another one I'm using for implementations is called the GTM Variable Builder. And it allows you to scrape your website and build custom JavaScript variables. So let's say you have some piece of information on the website and you want to have it as a variable, right? But you don't have a data layer and you don't have a developer who could help you with that. So what could you do? You could utilize this one. Let me just view my card. And here I have the subtotal. And let's say I want to track it. So I will have to do the right click, inspect, console. I will clear the console. I will just highlight this element and I click on this extension and it says paste this into the console to test. And we should follow the instructions and you can see that this is correct. So this means I can use this one in a custom JavaScript variable in the tag manager. So it's pretty cool, but you should be very careful with it because this method is kind of vulnerable. And what do I mean by that? because it's scraping out the website and it still relies on CSS selectors. And if you change anything on the website, your whole implementation might break. So this is why it is very important to be aware of it and also to test your implementation. But you should know that such an extension exists. When it comes to tracking, I often implement form tracking. Like, let me show you my form. And this is for the lazy ones. An extension that is called Lorem Fill. By simply right-clicking, you have this option, Lorem Fill, this single element, and you can simply use it to fill in the form if you have to provide some test details. I love it, but I think it's pretty cool and it saves your time. And here comes the last one, which has generated a heated discussion and everyone is talking about it right now. And we have seen the majority of posts and tweets about this tool, and it's called ChatGPT. So you can see my little helper right here. And of course, you should not overuse it. I cannot say that I'm using it for creating the snippets of code whatsoever, but it can be really helpful when you have some questions or you have to fulfill your task and there is something that can be solved with the help of ChatGPT. Let me show you just an example. If I go and click inspect, and here I will go to network and let me refresh. And here we have this request URL, and let me copy this value. And I just want to know what this means. So I can say decode this tracking request and paste it here. And in this way, I can get some information. But again, you should take everything with a grain of salt because it does not always provide accurate replies. So something might not be really relevant or correct. But this can also save your time. So these are the tools that are related to measurement. But there are also 3 tools that I'm using on a daily basis. 3 bonus ones I want to show you. And the first one is the emoji keyboard. And I absolutely love it. So when I create some SOPs or blog posts, I want to insert emoji, but at the same time, it's like the format is not compatible if you simply put it there. And this is how you can do it with the help of this extension. I love it. Then I also have MonaSnap, and this is also really great, especially if you want to create a step-by-step guide, right? So you can easily take a screenshot and it allows you to add those arrows. And here you can, let's say, you can highlight something. So this can be really helpful. Yeah, so when you're working with the documentation, you want to take a screenshot. So I'm always using this one. And the third one, the bonus one, is of course Grammarly. This is my grammar checker and I fully rely on this tool. So when I communicate with clients, when I have to write an email, it's always there for me. So these are the 10 Chrome extensions I'm using on a regular basis to achieve my goals. So what extensions are you using? Please let me know in the comment section below, and if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, do not forget to subscribe right here, and I wish you happy measuring till next time!